Hey guys and gals and YouTubers, welcome. Today we're going to take a look at Lethis Path of Progress. It's a city building game with some old mechanics that been around since the old Impression Sierra development games of the Caesar 3 genre. It basically builds upon that. So the first time I saw this, I was a little turned off about that. I was like, okay, why is this developer, because they're not from Impression, I don't believe. It's a French company, but they got the mechanics from that game and kind of just revamped it into some really nice game here with some really nice art and art style, a new kind of genre, steampunk. And music scores are really nice in here. So if you guys aren't familiar or are familiar with Impression games, they were basically city building games that were around. I believe the first one that kind of sparked the whole series, Caesar 3, came out in 1998. And after that, I believe Pharaoh, which was the Egyptian kind of city building stuff, and then Zeus came after that, which was the Greek mythology, and then Emperor, Rise of the Middle Kingdom, which was the China dynasty. And each one of those games, every time it came out, it just improved on the mechanics, and the fleshed out some of the mechanics of the game. They didn't really have it down in stone like it is in the game here. Some things they learned to put in the game and leave out. So each game generation just got better and better and flushed the whole mechanics of the game. So it just matured more. So it was kind of like each stage was an alpha pretty much back then. So we're going to jump on in here. Tutorials are all unlocked. I already played these. If you play this, you won't have any of these unlocked, just like the campaigns. I just finished this one. So I'm going to jump into the tutorial and show you what the basics of this city building is. It's pretty basics and pretty easy. If you guys play the Impression games, this is going to be a breeze. It's basically everything the same. I was a little, like I said, I was a little turned off by it. But I've been wanting to really play the game recently, and for something that's kind of updated with the art style, this is definitely one to get into. Because I really like what they did to this art. You got this map, which just looks like this just whole piece of an island floating in the sky. So they call it like a steampunk style art form, which is kind of like a Victorian futuristic type style. So what we're gonna do, there's plots here. We're gonna build our houses. And then you're just gonna see your some wanderers show up, and then these are basic plots for them to start building and show up. So they'll live in basic tents. So at any point, guys, just pause this if you want to read any of that, or I could save the surprises for you if you guys get the game. But it's pretty basic. So what I need to do now, I'm going to wait till everybody gets in there. We need to upgrade these houses, and usually if you click on them, they'll tell you what you need. So this building needs access to a well. So we'll build a well here. And the good thing about this one that I noticed that the other Impression games didn't have, it shows you in here in the green little arrows or the little squares, the coverage of this well. Because what happens, this building is going to have employees, 6 employees. So once it gets at 6 employees, you're going to see a walker come out. So basically they're just going to walk this path and deliver water to the houses. So basically your residents don't go out and get the stuff, they get stuff delivered to them. So everything that you need to cover these houses has to be built in within the square. It's kind of best to build like a neighborhood block and then have everything they need within that block, and that's why they have these roadblocks here. This is so that the walkers stay within this block area here. And you're gonna get more service buildings and whatnot in here. And then you'll possibly put more houses too. So you're not gonna have just stuff spread out. If I do build some more houses somewhere on the map, you could just put them over here and kind of make a whole new block with a whole new set of service buildings. So we need to do food, and food is important for our guys, and we'll build a couple of fisheries. So over time they'll go here and collect some fish, and then you see the stocks go up. So they don't have anywhere to deliver, so you build these granaries, which collects and stores the food here. And you can actually go into these buildings and select which items you want in there or not. And it all depends on the map, because some maps, say you have a fishery here, you want it just to select all the fish to be here instead of having it grab other things. It's basically just to keep the efficiency flow going a lot better in the game. So the next thing we need to do is we need to build a shop. And where can I put this guy at? That's good right there. Now what this does, it's the same thing as the water. You're gonna have a walker that goes around, but there's gonna be a walker that actually goes to the granary and gets the items, the fish, and brings it back here, and then delivers to the everybody in the neighborhood. So this will have every needs that the people need in this block area. So there's like potatoes, bread, beer, this is utensils, that's alcohol, fish, meat, and pumpkins. So here he comes, he's coming to come collect. And then he'll take it back and then he'll deliver. So we need to get, our goals here is get 4 workers house at level 3. So level 3, I think this is done here. Oh, we got collapse building. And that's another thing we got to watch out for. And to actually fix that, let's clear this out. We need to build some maintenance buildings. We actually need to build 2 of them. And we'll just slap one there, and we need to slap one over here somewhere. Now what this does, allows a walker to go by that actually fixes any of these buildings and maintain them, because over time they will go bad and just crumble like that one did. But you can go through down here, this little eye, and go under this wrench here. And since it's in green, it lets us know that all these are being taken care of. But over time, they'll get into the yellows and to the reds, and then they'll just eventually crumble. But these are the guys you need to have a vital path with them. And roadblocks are important. So what do they need now? We need a wash house. Do we have access to that? Because the tutorial didn't say anything about that yet. Oh, we're almost there. This level's almost done. So we'll build a couple more houses and then this level's done. And we'll jump into the next tutorial. Just so you guys can see that one. So I kind of left the music on a little bit higher. You guys gotta listen to this. It has an amazing soundtrack. And this art style is beautiful. But like I said, my first impression of this game was just like, why did they do this? But then I'm glad they did this, because I've been wanting to play those games again. And last time I played was Zeus, and that was a couple of years ago. And play it so many times, you know, like what's gonna happen and whatnot. So I'm glad this is out. It's a fresh retake of it, those type of games. Let's try this one. This one shows a little bit more advanced stuff. The one thing this does not have that the other ones have, I believe, is you don't have to worry about war. So you don't have to build troops and whatnot and try to protect your cities and towns or go out and attack. So you're basically just focused on your building up your cities and getting on the economy. So it's kind of nice, because the other ones, sometimes I didn't really want to get focused in the war, and sometimes I got pushed into it, and I really didn't like it too much. But there's times I really wanted to get into the war, so it was optional, you know what I mean? So now we're going to build some farms. Good thing about these farms, you don't have to worry about putting a maintenance building to check on them. So we want to plant some potatoes. And I believe there's certain areas you have to build these on. I believe you have to build them on this darker dirt, and it gives a better yield for the farms. At least that's what I remembered in the Zeus series and some of the other ones. You actually have to build them on really nice land. And I believe that's what these darker areas are. But I think you can kind of place these anywhere. The other ones, you couldn't place them anywhere. Yeah, I guess, yeah, see, it's not letting me place. So they have to be in this dark, rich area, which makes sense. The soil's better there. So it's winter time here. Oh yeah, so up here, this is your money. So much money you got. So max, this is your population here, which is 156. If you just hover over it for a while, it'll show you an unemployment area. And I don't know what this is here. Oh, citizens in the city. That's another higher class people that you can have in your city. And this is the time of the season. I believe that's spring. And that's some sort of calendar. And then you can rotate with this here. And that's your happiness. And this is your map. This is your world map. You can bring that up. That's how you build roadblocks and roads. All that other stuff I'll show you when we get into the actual gameplay. And you can actually speed up time right here, or you can use plus and minus on your numpad, but if you're on a laptop. Actually, I think this game recommends that I believe you got to use a desktop, because it says something in the beginning, don't use a computer that has an Intel type graphics card, which usually means it's some sort of low-end laptop. I'm sure you can play it on a laptop, but you got to have a really nice one with a good graphics card on it. So what are we waiting for? Oh, we need to build a granary, because we're going to have a harvest soon. Throw that there. So I don't know how these games do this kind of stuff nowadays, where they can kind of, I don't know how you call it, remake a game or use the mechanics from a game that's from a totally different developer and make it into their own game and make money off it. I don't know how they do that. Do they buy rights off it or something? Because I don't think any of these guys, I really don't know anything about this Lethis too much with the developers. I have no idea if any of those guys actually used to work for Impressions Games or the Sierra, Impressions Sierra. It's actually Impressions. So I don't know how they're able just to do this and use their mechanics and whatever. Maybe after so many years they can get copyright of it? I have no idea. But I'm kind of glad. I mean, it is though kind of expensive to get. That's the only downside about it. It's like 20 bucks to get it on Steam, which is really costly, I think, for an old type game like this. 10 bucks probably on a Steam sale, which would be pretty nice. There's other places I believe you can get this game off of. So, okay, I am talking away and... oh, that was a potato field, that's what they were doing. So, let's get everything going. I'm here chatting it away. I need to have them deliver. Let's build some more houses. But yeah, I played countless hours in the old games. I think I started in the series with Pharaoh. I mean, I love Egyptian stuff. I'm a whole Egyptian buff. I took some art history in college, and we got really into the Egyptian stuff for like half a semester, and I really love that stuff. And then I believe I went back and played Caesar 3 because I was curious about it. And it was actually okay. I prefer the newer ones past Caesar 3. Pharaoh was a good intro for me into that. Because some of the mechanics in Pharaoh, they didn't really have in Caesar 3. And I wish they had in Caesar 3. So now we gotta build a bathhouse because they don't want stinky feet. And this way they can upgrade a little bit. And we gotta worry about beautification, so we'll just slap a bunch of trees back here. Later on your own map, you can make them look nicer. So we need more alcohol, so we might get into some alcohol. They need to be level 4, right? Yes, we'll get into the alcohol. So I might cover the other tutorials later on, I really don't know. We could probably jump into gameplay. But a lot of these tutorials are actually like gameplay, so we'll probably play through some of these. So let's get into the alcohol. Which we need to make some barley. So let me just find another area here. Oh, I need to, well, that's, lucky I saw that. I need to build a maintenance building over here before this guy collapses. Let's just tuck it right here. I bet he's in the red. Yeah. There we go. And I don't need him to go down there. It's just a waste of time. Okay. Now, let's see if I can chuck some barley down here, maybe. It's not a good design for my farm. Yeah, I can't fit one there. It sucks. Let me go over here. Right in the middle there. I'll chuck some barley. Perfect. And we're gonna need, no, we don't need maintenance. And I'll chuck the brewery. It's best just to keep everything, your production and your, actually, you know what, I'll just put it here. I'll put another maintenance building here. It's better to keep your crops and your production stuff that's going to use that crop in the same area. I was going to put it over here, but it's better to keep it here. And the maintenance building. Throw that guy over here. And I think there's a roadblock here. I'll put one here. We don't even go down there. Actually, yeah, that's okay. Let me see if there's one over here by the water. Yeah. Oh, we gotta beautify those houses back there. We'll just throw some hedges or something. R to rotate. Put some trees over here. So I might do a series of the Zeus game. I've been actually wanting to do that one, but the thing with the Zeus, the reason why I like Zeus, I really like the Greek stuff. The Pharaoh one, like I said, I love the Egyptian stuff, but it's like I said earlier on, each game was kind of a step forward in the evolution of the game mechanics, and I think Zeus kind of was the one where it finally got flushed out and was kind of like almost what the game mechanics was supposed to be. Pharaoh was kind of in between. There was some stuff that they needed to work out with, especially when I was talking about some of the stuff in the game, because before in Pharaoh, if you notice that I placed some of these buildings, some of the workers just automatically show up if you have a road connecting. In Pharaoh, you actually had to build another building type, like one of these maintenance buildings, and there was a walker that would come out, and you had to have this walker, or that I guess it was like a recruit center. I can't remember the building name. It was like an employee services thing. You actually had to have it by your houses and also by your industry. And the downside is if you had it close to your houses, the walker would go around collecting the people, and then the people would show up in the building, and then the people would go to the industry. Downside is these roadblocks would cause problems, because sometimes you had to get rid of those roadblocks to get the walkers to go in there, and you had to keep your industry really close to your houses, and just caused a lot of problems. But Zeus got that fixed where you see it now. It just instantaneously, the people show up into that working buildings, which is awesome. I mean, they tried many years. Like I said, I mean, each one of the games was like evolution, almost like a new beta or a new alpha, and it finally got flushed out in the Zeus and then Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom. That's why I prefer Zeus. Emperor has pretty good graphics, but let's put a house up here. It doesn't have a lot of the content because I don't think they released a DLC for that one. So are they getting beer? No, they have not yet. So we might need to build a storage area and slap it there. That way the beer comes straight in there. Yeah, the Zeus series had a DLC called the Poseidon, which added more content and more maps to the game, and a little bit more mechanics, which is pretty cool. Pharaoh had also a DLC called Cleopatra. So the only two that didn't get one was Caesar 3 and Emperor Rise of Kingdom. I'm hoping this game would come out with DLC. I really hope they open this game up to the modders, because if they get a hold of this, we can do some cool stuff. And I would love to see this kind of type of game get modded. So these guys gotta go all the way over here, which is not, it's okay. Let's speed up the time here. Been chatting it up, guys. So, did they build beer already? Or make beer? Let's check it out. They're on level 4. Once this beer comes, this map is over, and then we'll end the episode, guys. I know I've been chatting it up. Just reliving, thinking about all the old Pharaoh, the old impression games. This is not really a chat about the this game per se, but it's related. They did branch off these types of games into a 3D type. They did Caesar 4. It wasn't too popular when they went into the 3D realm. Just a lot of mechanics, a lot of the coding, a lot of the performance was not that good. Because a lot of the content that was in the game, a lot of the industrial buildings and production type buildings had to be cut in a lot because the technology just couldn't handle it, and it just didn't work out that well for some reason, and it just died off from there. And I can understand why they this game is, the developers of this game decided to do old style of this instead of going in 3D version, because it works well. I mean, as you can see. Another thing I notice about this and the other ones, usually when your people walk around, you can hear them chatting away and talking, and a lot of these buildings you can hear things going off in the background, and I don't really hear that. If I click on a building, I'll hear something. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't hear anything. Let's go. But the soundtrack's pretty amazing. So we're almost done with this level. That didn't take too long, guys. So yeah, we'll probably jump in the other tutorials and show you those ones. They're basically just considered like a campaign to me if you never played this before. These are all level 5. We may not have enough people living in them. Oh, there's level 4s back here, that's why. Is this level 4? Let's build some beautifications. Just throw a park or something there. Oh, they must have ran out of alcohol. Yeah, there's still a lot of level 4s right here. We'll get some more alcohol, guys. Come on. What I can do is just slap some more houses down here. Probably like right here. Yep, there we go. We won. So there we go, guys. That is the first two tutorials of Lethis Path of Progress. So when we come back, we will do these other ones here, which will probably be in their own episodes because these are actually pretty long here, I believe. Yeah. Alright, guys. Well, we'll see you next time. Now, like always, have a great day. Bye-bye.